Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today we discuss the Vacheron Constantin, reference 81530 in white gold. This is the Patrimony Contemporain. This is a watch 36 millimeters in diameter that was built with gem setting in profile, 62 diamonds amounting to 0.4 carats, and it is an ultra-compact reference, a classical dress watch. So 36 millimeters in diameter. We're going to take a look at it in profile. It's only 7.1 millimeters thick, ultra thin, 41.2 from lug tip to lug tip, with an 18 millimeter spacing between the lugs. This watch is accompanied by its full boxed set, including a Geneva Seal certification card dated as of 2012, so we know the approximate vintage of the timepiece. On my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, it wears beautifully. 36 traditionally would have been a fairly large men's dress watch size. So if you were to take us back to 1955, a era that Vacheron constantly references in its designs, this would be on the larger side for a men's dress watch. And I will say, being short across the wrist, you've got that span that's only 41.2 lug to lug. You can wear this on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, maybe even 13 easily. So this is a power watch for him and for her. Super flat flush and close hauled to the skin. It'll easily slide underneath the dress cuff. Thin is in with this watch. It's the theme, which is why we have a bonded strap where the leather on the top is bonded to the leather on the bottom. There's no stitching, creating a attractive, seamless look. You can also see it's a sort of aged ultramarine blue matte finish on the bottom, calfskin, gator on the top. We have medium rectangular scale. We have a Vacheron white gold pin buckle to match. You can see it's got the little Maltese cross motif. You'll see the same on the crown. You'll see the same on the dial. It is the logo and symbol of the company. It's on the case back as well. But you may notice a feature of this pin buckle that continues on the case, which is that this is way too bright and white for white gold. So this is an unusual application of rhodium-plated traditional white gold by Vacheron, and I believe the reason for that is the company wanted a better match to the white shine of the diamonds. You could see these brilliant cut diamonds set by hand circumferentially in the case, and if the case were darker, let's face it, gray gold, an unplated white gold variant, it is much warmer than platinum. With the rhodium plate here, you get something that is literally as white as platinum to match those diamonds. It's a very, very flat watch. You can see we've got a nice sharp break between lug and case, which I always appreciate. The watch is 30 meters water resistant, so don't take it swimming, splash only. We'll talk about this movement in a moment. Let's take a quick look at the dial. Simple, classical. Today we have two classes of Vacheron watch. We have Traditionnel, which features Dauphine hands, and Patrimony, which features baton. So these are baton hands. This is a Patrimony in the current nomenclature. You can see that they've been cleverly half frosted, half polished to make for better contrast on the dial base. Then we have applique white gold indices with wedge-shaped indices at the quarters, 12, 3, 6, and 9. And then we have a dimple-style track outboard with what's known as opaline frosting, a non-directional metallic grain, so a frosted, glittering finish, but not one that has the brushed directionality of a sunburst. Turn it all over, we have a Vacheron Constantin caliber 1401, and this is a little giant. It's not a big movement at 20.65 millimeters in diameter, but it's also not a thick movement at 2.6 millimeters thick. This was one of the very first Vacheron in-house calibers, and this came out in 2004. You may be surprised to know that for its first quarter millennium, Vacheron almost exclusively acted as an établisseur, buying and decorating movements from top suppliers. But this was one of its first, and they went all out. So technically speaking, it's what you'd expect of a relatively small dress watch movement. It's a higher beat rate than I expected, though. At 4 hertz, it all pivots on 20 joules. It's adjusted in a chronometer-style 5 positions. It has a 40-hour power reserve, understandable given the small space for the mainspring barrel. And Geneva hallmark, which is a true feather in its cap, because while some Vacheron calibers seem almost a perfunctory Geneva seal, this one's wild. Take a look first at the ratchet wheel. Do you see how it's solarized on its top and then micro beveled on the edge of all the teeth? That is not universal on modern Vacheron calibers. Now take a look at the bridges themselves. Look at how many of these sharp inward angles we get and the quality of them around the drivetrain with the center wheel and the third wheel. Look at those deep cuts, those bevels where two bevels converge in a sharp crease. There are Geneva sill movements that don't have one of those. This watch has several. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's a sixth over here, and they're of high quality. The bevels are also very broad and mirrored and decorated by hand. You can see the stripes are narrow, but that they have a dark shading gradient, indicating excellent abrasive wheel runs from a Côte de Genève application roller. It's an abrasive wheel that makes passes in parallel across the bridges. All screw heads are black polished with their slots and their circumference chamfered. We have engine turning on the base plate, black polishing on the stud holder, Geneva-style KIF shock protection, and you can see that we even have subordinate structures, like, for example, the click right there. Take a look at that. How great is that detail with the click? Absolutely beautiful stuff. And 30 meters water resistant, so don't soak it, but then why would you? Even take a look at the sinks, the countersinks for the screws and the jewels. Absolutely beautiful beveling. This is a watch that pegs the meter in terms of finish. There's not a lot to it. It's not a grand complication, but what's there lives up to the reputation of this, the oldest Holy Trinity brand and the oldest continuously operating watchmaker in Switzerland. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.